Hello and welcome to part 2 of my videos about the Foma Ortho 400, which comes in this beautiful package, and this time I'm using the 135 film. I've used it on my Pentax ME Super. You can see the beautiful canister here. Can you focus on? Yes, thank you. Please focus on the canister. And I developed it in Foma R09 at 150, which I think gives a really beautiful result. This time I have printed it on an old Ilford multigrade paper. It's the RC Deluxe Pearl. I got it for free, so that's why I used it. Paper should be used, not thrown away. And even if it's a little bit yellowish, it gives a beautiful result. Good enough for me. This is not going to any art collection anyway. The first picture I want to show you is from the snowy period of the winter. Some ducks at the sea near the channel. I have a 135 lens and a 35mm. So the wide angles are from my 35 and the close-ups or the tele are from the 135mm. Here's another one at the docks. I think the film makes some interesting results, don't you think? And here is an old steamer called Kysten, translated as the coast, and it stays in Tønsberg, and it's a beautiful subject that I often visit. I also traveled with it. A very silent boat, not much noise from the engine, but now I don't think it's so operational. It cost a lot of money to restore it. Then I went into the forest when it was not snow, and as you know, the forest ground is a bit reddish and tree trunks are reddish, and at winter time the leaves on the ground also turn a little bit reddish, and the auto film does not see red so good, almost nothing at all. So to get good results in the forest, you should expose more than what the light meter tells you, especially if you are in the shadows or it's a dark, gloomy, cloudy day. I feel that I should have exposed more, but since I didn't use any tripod, I chose to expose them at the rated speed of 400, so there was no extra exposure. So you see what happens in the dark forest when exposed as the light meter tells you. And my advice is go up one stop and you'll get better results. I usually do that with my paper negatives, which has the same problem. Here's another one. But even though if it's not perfect, you can see a little bit about the tonality, how it works in the forest. So I hope you get something out of it. I suddenly discovered that I had missed some of the pictures, so I have them here. Here's one from the winter forest without snow. Here's a stump in the gloomy forest. And here I chose to make the shadows go completely dark. It's an artistic choice, of course. If I had exposed it a little bit more, I guess I could have had some more play with the shadows, but yeah, I think the darkness, the blackness actually suits those landscapes best in these pictures. Then springtime came and I was out again with the camera, and it was a beautiful day, and I got this beautiful landscape in the forest with the beautiful beaches. And here's another one from the same place. I love this area with the water and the trees. Very interesting place. I will definitely visit it another time, another spring. Now it's all dried up, so it's not so interesting. Then I came to this waterfall, and I made this one with my ME Super. It was the last picture on the roll, so I couldn't test anything more, but I think it came out pretty nicely. I also visited the beach and got some close-ups that turned out actually pretty interesting. Look at this feather and the rocks. Fascinating, right? What's up, what's down? That's up to the viewer, isn't it? Or maybe the shadows will dictate what feels right. This one here was also a good idea. Focus was right, but depth of field, the choice of depth of field could have been better. I should have stopped it down a little bit more, not just a little bit. I think it would have been a lot better if all of it was in focus, not just parts of it. Then this one is actually more successful with the rocks and the sand, and everything is in focus. I think it's a cool picture with beautiful formations. I recommend you to go to the beach, try some high contrast images, even if it's a bright sunny day, and you can find something interesting. Just look at this. You don't have to expose the sand as something white. You can underexpose it too and get some interesting results and some high contrast results. It's black and white, so you can do whatever you want. And in the forest you can also get very interesting results if you have a sunny day and dark shadows in the forest. It's almost impossible to get everything, the details in the shadows and details in the highlight at the same time. You can do it with some magic in the exposing it right and in the darkroom, but it may not turn out interesting. It's more interesting to embrace what you have in the high contrast environment. You can, for instance, make what it's called, dark key image where all the shadows are chosen to be black. So I exposed for the highlight and I got this picture. Please focus on the picture and not me. Okay, will you? You cannot. There, yes. Okay. Then you get some interesting shapes, and it's easy to find because you block out the shadows, so you don't have to worry about, oh, it's something in the background. The background is out. You only have to focus about the strong highlight details, and that makes the picture very interesting, or it can be interesting. You can see, if you like this, maybe you will try it too. I also did it with my digital camera and it made some interesting results. So if you want to do some artsy stuff in the forest, maybe you should expose for the highlights and develop for the highlights also, and turn the shadows black. So if someone want to gift you some old paper, test it out if it works. When I open up a box of new paper. I cut a piece from a paper. I expose one part of the paper in bright light and develop it, and together with that I have another piece that hasn't been exposed for any light at all. Then I get an idea if the paper can turn black, and I get an idea if the paper has started to expose chemically. So then I know a little bit about it, but you're not sure about the results until you start developing. Darkroom work, not about the Foma Ortho 400. This is a beautiful film. I recommend it. As you can see, I haven't talked about grain. There's grain, natural grain. I think grain is beautiful sometimes. See you later.